Hello students, and welcome to the lecture on consumer behavior. After the lecture, we will be able to learn the following objectives. Explain the concept of consumer buying behavior. Discuss the factors of influencing behavior. Explain consumer psychology. Define consumer value and satisfaction. Discuss market measurement and forecasting. Let's start with an introduction to consumer behavior. Each consumer is unique, and this uniqueness is reflected in the consumption pattern and process of purchase. The consumer behavior provides us with reasons why consumers differ from one another in buying, using products and services. We receive stimuli from the environment and the specifics of the marketing strategies of different products and services, and respond to these stimuli in terms of either buying or not buying a product. In between the stage of receiving the stimuli and responding to it, the consumer goes through the process of making his decision. Consumer behavior is comparatively a new field of study, which evolved just after the Second World War. The seller's market has disappeared, and buyer's market has come up. This led to a paradigm shift of the manufacturer's attention from product to consumer, and specifically focused on the consumer behavior. The evaluation of marketing concept from a mere selling concept to consumer-oriented marketing has resulted in buyer behavior becoming an independent discipline. The growth of consumerism and consumer legislation emphasizes the importance that is given to the consumer. Consumer behavior is one of the most interesting and important aspects of marketing management. Virtually all decisions involved in developing an effective marketing mix for a product or service rely on thorough knowledge of the consumers who comprise the target market. Understanding the behavior of the consumer can help marketers to anticipate reactions to changes in the marketing mix, or determine whether new products are likely to be adopted. Consumer behavior is also closely related to marketing research. A practical understanding of the consumer can aid in the selection of an appropriate research methodology, question design and selection, as well as in interpreting consumer responses to such questions. Let's now study consumer buying behavior. Buying behavior is the decision process and acts of people involved in buying and using products. We need to understand why consumers make the purchases that they make. What factors influence consumer purchases? The changing factors in our society. Consumer buying behavior refers to the buying behavior of the ultimate consumer. A firm needs to analyze buying behavior for buyers' reactions to a firm's marketing strategy has a great impact on the firm's success. The marketing concept stresses that a firm should create a marketing mix, or MM, that satisfies or gives utility to customers. Therefore, needing to analyze the what, where, when, and how consumers buy. Marketers can better predict how consumers will respond to marketing strategies. Stages of the consumer buying process. There are 6 stages to the consumer buying decision process. Actual purchasing is only one stage of the process. Not all decision processes lead to a purchase. A consumer decisions do not always involve all 6 stages, determined by the degree of complexity. The 6 stages are problem recognition, awareness of need. This is the difference between the desired state and the actual condition. Deficit in assortment of products, hunger, food. Hunger stimulates the need to eat. Information search. Internal search, memory. External search, if they need more information. Friends and relatives, word of mouth. marketer-dominated sources, comparison shopping, public sources, etc. A successful information search leaves a buyer with possible alternatives, the evoked set. Evaluation of alternatives. Need to establish criteria for evaluation. Features the buyer's wants or what they don't want. Rank and weight alternatives or resume search. Purchase decision. Choose buying alternative. Includes product, package, store, method of purchase, etc. Purchase may differ from decision, time lapse between 4 and 5, product availability. Post-purchase evaluation outcome. Satisfaction or dissatisfaction. Types of consumer buying behavior. Types of consumer buying behavior are determined by level of involvement in purchase decision, importance and intensity of interest in a product in a particular situation. Buyer's level of involvement determines why he or she is motivated to seek information about certain products and brands, but virtually ignores others. High involvement purchases, high-priced goods, products visible to others, and the higher the risk, the higher the involvement. Types of risk: personal risk, social risk, economic risk. The 4 types of consumer buying behavior are routine response, programmed behavior, buying low involvement, frequently purchased low-cost items. These need very little search and decision effort, purchased almost automatically. Examples include soft drinks, snack foods, milk, etc. Limited decision-making, buying a product occasionally. When it needs to obtain information about an unfamiliar brand in a familiar product category, perhaps. Receives a moderate amount of time for information gathering. Let's now study the factors of influencing behavior. All psychological, social, and physical behavior of the potential customers as they become aware of, evaluate, purchase, consume, and tell others about products and services. It's the study of processes involved when individuals or groups select, purchase, use, or dispose of products, services, ideas, concepts, or experiences to satisfy consumer needs and desires. Cultural influence. Culture refers to values, ideas, attitudes, and other meaningful symbols created by people to shape human behaviors. Values, beliefs, preferences, tastes handed down generation to generation. Cultural is different from country to country, area to area. Social influence. Reference groups. People or institution whose opinions are valued, to whom a person looks to for guidance. Family, friends, and celebrities. Social classes. Upper class, lower upper class, upper middle class, lower middle class, working class. Opinion leaders. The process of influencing others. Opinion via word of mouth. Information from media to opinion leaders to other members. Celebrities, experts, salesmen, and dealers can be opinion leaders. Personal factors. Individual factors like age, occupation, lifestyle, and personality influence the consumer decision-making. The age and occupation factors and their application feature earlier in the marketing environment unit. Lifestyle and its influence on the consumer in the segmentation unit. Personality is the image of people's traits. Traits include self-confidence, dominance, autonomy, defensiveness, adaptability, and aggressiveness. Many companies use these concepts in their marketing communications. Psychological factors. One of the most widely mentioned theories of motivation is the hierarchy of needs put forth by psychologists. Maslow saw human needs in the form of a hierarchy, ascending from the lowest to the highest, and he concluded that when one set of needs is satisfied, this kind of need ceases to be a motivator. Physiological needs. These are important needs for sustaining the human life. Food, water, warmth, shelter, sleep, medicine, and education are the basic physiological needs which fall in the primary list of need satisfaction. Security or safety needs. These are the needs to be free of physical danger and of the fear of losing a job, property, food, or shelter. It also includes protection against any emotional harm. Social needs. Human beings are social animals. They strive to be in the society. This type of needs people will try to satisfy with affection, acceptance, and friendship. Esteem needs. According to Maslow, once the people are satisfied with social needs, they would like to have esteem needs met. Consumer psychology. Consumer psychology is a specialty area that studies how thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and perceptions influence how people buy and relate to goods and services. One formal definition describes it as the study of individuals, groups, or organizations, and the processes they use to select, secure, use, and dispose of products, services, experiences, or ideas to satisfy needs and the impacts that these processes have on the consumer and society. Professionals in the field look at things like the decision-making process, social persuasion, and motivation to help and understand why shoppers buy some things but not others. Industrial buyer behavior versus domestic buyer behavior. The behavior of the buyer depends on concentration of buyers. Organizational buyers are concentrated in the same geographical area. Domestic buyers are spread everywhere. Adherence to specification. Organizational buyers stick to their product specification because it affects their efficiency, product quality, after-sales service, market share, and ROI. Domestic buyers are not so rigid to their specification. Did you know emergence of the marketing thought in the early 1900s is eloquently documented by Bartels in 1962? Let's discuss the consumer value and satisfaction. Before designing effective online customer satisfaction surveys, it's important to define what customer value and satisfaction mean to the organization. Customer value and satisfaction may differ between companies. Companies interested in customer satisfaction must first determine customer perceived value, or CPV. The CPV refers to the value delivered to the customer through products or services. Once this value is identified, customer satisfaction surveys can be created. The CPV is comprised of total customer value, total customer cost. CPV, or customer delivered value, can be determined through a combination of total customer value and total customer cost. Total customer value, or TCV, is the total value that a customer spends on products and services. It is a reflection of the ability of a good business to attract and keep its consumers. A good business will have customers coming back to purchase their products and services. Product value. This is the value of products offered by a company to its customers. Total customer cost, or TCC, is the total cost that customers can expect to incur when seeking, using, and disposing of products and services. The TCC is comprised of monetary cost. This is the cost that customers can expect to pay for products or services. Energy cost. This is the energy that customers spend in seeking, acquiring, using, and disposing of products and services. Time cost. This is the time that customers expend in seeking, acquiring, using, and disposing of products and services. Benefits of customer satisfaction surveys. It's not enough to measure a business's success by the number of customers that it has or gains per quarter. Companies have to measure customer satisfaction frequently to address issues of most importance to their customers. Since customer satisfaction is related to customer retention and loyalty, the use of customer satisfaction surveys is a long-term business strategy. Formal customer feedback. Customer satisfaction surveys provide a way to gain formal feedback from customers about products and services. A satisfaction survey allows a company to receive feedback on every aspect of product development and delivery. Customer loyalty. Satisfaction surveys let customers know that an organization cares about them. This is important to gaining and keeping customer loyalty. As markets change and new companies emerge, loyalty is very important for a company to keep its customer base. Employee evaluation. A customer satisfaction survey can provide an indirect method of evaluating employee performance. Marketing management continuously scans the marketing environment for signs of opportunities and threats. Furthermore, marketing management divides the heterogeneous mass market up into more homogeneous segments to facilitate the identification and exploitation of opportunities. Determining the potential of a market segment is indispensable for analyzing the opportunities within a segment and for deciding if it can possibly be chosen as a target market. It is not the only present market potential that is important, and it gives an indication of opportunities, but the firm must also be interested in market forecasts. The firm wants to survive in the long term and achieve its primary goal, being to maximize profitability. Consequently, market forecasting is also a very important aid for decision-making by marketing management. The importance of market measurement and forecasting. The main goal of market measurement and forecasting is to serve as an aid in the decisions that marketing management has to make. As it's already been emphasized, the quality of decisions cannot be better than the information that they're based on. Information gathered enables marketing management to make their decisions in a more objective and scientific manner and to lessen the risk and uncertainty that accompany subjective decisions and guesswork. Key concepts in perspective. In marketing terms, this means the maximum potential demand for a certain product in a specific market as a whole. Market potential is relevant to a specific geographical area, a specific period of time, specific types of products, a specific market segment, and is expressed in terms of all of these, which pertains to the maximum demand for a firm's product. Sales potential, in the same way as market potential, pertains to a specific geographical area, period, and market segment. Sales potential, however, does not pertain to the types of products a firm deals with, but to a specific product or brand of the firm. The management of market measurement and forecasting. The management of market measurement and forecasting being expressed by this stage will already realize that it pertains to the planning, implementation, and control of the market measurement and forecasting activities. Just as with any other scientific research, measurement and forecasting must be approached in a systematic and planned fashion to obtain the best value. Several steps can be mentioned for approaching market measurement and forecasting. Problem and information needs. This step must be very carefully planned. The problem about which information should be gathered must be very clearly defined. Definition of the problem will determine which information must be clearly acquired so that only relevant data is gathered. Gathering relevant information. Gathering information serves a dual purpose. Firstly, it provides sufficient data for the information need that is required to solve a problem. And secondly, it serves as a basis for the choice of particular methods of measurement and/or forecasting that are to be used. Selecting the methods of market measurement and forecasting. The choice of measurement and forecasting methods begins with the evaluation of the data that has been gathered. There must be sufficient data of the right quality to provide a satisfactory answer to the problem by means of existing methods of analysis. Thereafter, a suitable method can be selected by comparing the information needed and the abilities of the methods to meet the needs.
There is a great deal, of course, of intuition in business decision-making, and that's, by the way, that's not necessarily bad. But because intuition is not perfect, I always saw that the analytics had a place of application. It wasn't just theory. There are patterns. People respond to price changes in certain predictable ways. People respond to advertising in certain predictable ways. And if you're willing to look closely at the data, you gain a great deal of insight that is not competitive to intuition, but that strengthens the intuition. You can go back to roughly 1964 to find the first, so that's half a century ago, to find the first published marketing model. You will also see that some of the results in that model actually still apply today, half a century later. And that is because consumers are consumers. They like quality products and services that are available when they want them at a fair price. That fundamental principle doesn't change a whole lot. And on the supply side, companies want to make money, want to gain market share and so forth, want to satisfy their customers' needs. That doesn't change all that much either. Okay? So if you can capture the fundamentals, you have a model structure that can survive many generations of technology. Now, having said that, the way that these principles are executed is subject to continuous change. So, for example, new channels, new touch points emerge. Okay? So what do you have to do? You have to basically expand your model to allow for these new touch points and to understand whether these touch points are increasing the size of the pie. So in other words, the entire category, for example, benefits, or are they stealing explanatory power or persuasive power from all touch points? What market share does is it brings the data together from dozens of different sources. So for example, the internet data comes from here, the sales data from here, the advertising spending data from somewhere else, the product attribute data from somewhere else, the pricing data from somewhere else. That needs to all be combined. That is a really tough task, and the data experts at Market Share have done a terrific job. So our marketing executives still need to be very good communicators, still need to be creative people and have good people skills. But at the same time, they need a strong appreciation for the fact that consumer behavior is predictable, and therefore the marketing mix elements that you put in place have consequences that actually can, to a large extent, be anticipated. And therefore, if you go against these rules, you tend to make bad decisions, and vice versa. So it's that fundamental appreciation, I believe, that needs to change, and that's going to differentiate the successful marketing executive in the 21st century from his or her counterpart in the past century.
Did you know in the 1980s, manual spreadsheets were replaced by workforce management (WFM) scheduling systems. This increased the efficiency of contact centers and reduced the time to create schedules. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. Buying behavior is the decision process and acts of people involved in buying and using products. Consumer psychology is a specialty area that studies how thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and perceptions influence how people buy and relate to goods and services. Customer satisfaction surveys provide a way to gain formal feedback from customers about products and services. The motivation and other investment that customers expend in seeking, acquiring, using, and dispensing of products and services. Total customer value is the total value that a customer spends on products and services. It is a reflection of the ability of a good business to attract and keep its customers.